To another weekly
Okay, it's
installation.
6:06. Are we ready to go, everybody? Is
We're
everybody
ready.
Yes,
everybody
we're
did their
live, Adam.
homework?
We're live. We're live.
Nice. We're
Welcome
on.
back to another
Who
weekly
hit live?
installation of Dev
Let's
Wednesday. We
check.
have a
I'm gonna
bunch
make
of
sure all
very
the
special
all
guests
the
here
streamies
for
are
you
ready to
guys
go.
today.
The
Um,
restreamers.
we are joined by Eric
Oh yeah,
Manganero,
we're up.
co-founder of Fork Block.
It's looking funky
Good old
fresh.
Adam Manka.
All right.
Again,
Hey,
help
Adam.
out with the Fork Block team and John May as well. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I really appreciate you guys here. Take it away, boys.
Cool. Thanks. Yo, Adam, can you hear us?
Yeah, I couldn't hear Matt. But
Yeah,
I
that's
think
odd for some reason. But you know what? We're going live. This is kind of cool. This is like the old band getting back together, right?
yeah.
So
Yeah,
like,
it's been
say
over
again.
a year. It's been about like a year and a half.
Yeah, it's been back a year and a half.
So everybody who's watching, I guess I'll introduce you guys properly. So the gentleman to my right, Eric, is the co-founder of Fork Block. We started a little bit on online development community because we were both really interested in blockchain, cryptocurrencies, distributed technologies, emerging technologies, and we kept meeting bright people like John, who's below, and I can't actually see, but for some reason, but I know you all can see him. And essentially, we started a little group, to program, find out the stuff that we loved, and we started growing this community. But anyways, these two guys are, have taught me a lot about development. They wanted to dive into Dino today and go a little bit through that. And I'll let Eric take it away, but it's really exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's cool because we're going to, I always try to stay abreast to the shiny new toys that are out there. And it seems like Dino is not just another shiny new toy, but a big advancement in JavaScript. Can you still see me? All right, cool. For some reason, my light bulb started melting.
Nice.
Cool. So we'll see how that works. Let's see if I get a light on. Interesting. Either way. Dino was popping up on my feed for like the last week and a half because version 1 just came out, and it's exciting to at least check out the new technologies, especially when it comes to JavaScript. I know that I've been using like node.js in my day-to-day for past couple, like maybe 3 or 4 years, and I think a lot of what's going on inside the scene has drawn me to it. Like, for instance, just to do just a quick intro of people who do not know what Dino is. It is the latest creation of Ryan Dahl, creator of Node.js. And I think what 3 things that he was interested in, I guess, creating was being able to create a Node.js, not just a Node.js, but a language where it was like TypeScript that was native, the future of WebAssembly, and being able to have like a sandbox for all your system calls, so it doesn't have direct access to your file system or network like natively like you would have with just a plain Node, which is really interesting. How what's your experience with Node.js, Adam?
Yeah, so I think I got into Node.js very early on. So I was used to more like functional programming languages or like closer to the machine code.
Sure.
Not so familiar with the command line package management tools like NPM. But I guess like when V8 was released and Node came out, that's like really when like my development journey started allowing me to do more stuff, because with that, like the Node package manager came out and we were able to rapidly prototype software, not in the same way that we were able to do before, and created this boom on the internet. So any kind of innovation in this area where you have these languages, I'm not really familiar so much with Dino until you told me about it. But
yeah, that's kind of like why I wanted to jump on. I was like, I think that we all don't know a lot about it, and might as well just like live code it to understand at least the important reasons. I mean, the reasons why it's important. So like the main one, which I immediately stood out to me, is that and we're going to go to my code real quick. Let's see. Cool. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Cool. So basically, one of the ideas is that we do URL imports. So instead of having something like npm, where like you would say npm install, at the first line of code, like let's see here, you can see this is like a totally legal way of using TypeScript within Dino itself. So let's see. I think a good way to start is to I can have links down below about how to install. I currently have it installed right now. So we see Dino. Did you ever try to go through the installation yet, Adam? Oh no, I think Adam died. Oh, there he is. There he is. My boy.
How did you go about installing it?
Sorry. Everybody still there?
Cool. So what I did is that I did what is it? Yeah, there you go. Basically, what I did was that I can put this inside the comments, but basically on Deno.land they have for Linux and Mac that you can launch a curl command to download the shell file, and it usually installs into your home directory under .deno. And can you see my screen there, Adam?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Just my laptop died for a second.
It's all good. I think that it's really cool because Deno is just basically it's a single file installation. So all I did was that after I copied that in there, I copied that to let's see. I copied Deno into my user bin. Let's see. So actually, if I say which Deno, have it in user bin Deno. So what's interesting is, let's see, let's make a whole project out of this and start our dev environment, because it's really important to get VS Code if that's your IDE of choice to get set up from debugging. Are you do you have an installation ready, Adam, or do you want to just keep going?
What I was going to say is, if you have Rust, it's very, very easy to install.
Oh, true. Yeah. What is that? What's the command for that?
Cargo install Deno, and you're done.
What did you ask for, Eric? You said, do I have an installation ready?
Yeah, if you wanted to go through the process of installing it yourself, and we can go through like the pitfalls if you wanted to, or I kind of have a cooking show ready. So
I'd rather just watch you go through it realistically. I mean, I could do it along with you if you'd like, but it'd probably be easier if I just observe because you're ready. Cooking show. I like cooking show. It'd be a good first look at it.
Okay. So taking that you installed it from, go on deno.land and just check out the installation. It's a very simple command. If you're on Linux, it's one command. I copied it to my user bin, so I have it accessible here. So I'm going to just say called, let's see, expressive.
Okay, so just go to the Dino repo. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Deno.land. Well, you can do it.
Dino.land.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep on streaming on my screen, but the idea is that you don't really need anything to start. So you don't need to do npm init which is the unusual thing. So I want to just say like a very plain server.ts. Okay. But I think that's like the number one thing that we wanted to talk about is that a big difference between just like Node and Dino right off the bat is that I didn't have to initialize npm with a package.json for this folder. I just have like just a text file .server.ts.
Mm-hmm.
And the first line is imports the module expressive from this URL, which is super interesting because now I guess like in terms of like not just how it relates to blockchain and its like ideology, but it definitely decentralizes things a good bit because the central point of failure is npm.
Okay.
You know, like every time that you wanted to become a part of that package registry, you would be basically beholden to
Beholden to a centralized entity.
yeah, we're beholden to like yeah.
Hold on, so Dino's packages. Talk to me about that a little bit. What's the you said aside from it being a little bit more decentralized, why is that? And where do I find these packages for the Dino? Can you maybe pull up a window for that?
That's the idea is that okay, let's see. Can you just go to Deno.land and you can see that they're here, let me put the focus on you.
Okay. On Deno.land. Now where am I going, Eric? No, you dropped out. Hold on.
And third-party library.
No. You dropped out. You got to do it like this. Just do like this.
No, I'm trying to drop you out because you have a big screen.
Yeah, but I can't hear you. There you go. That's better. Now I can hear you. Go for it.
Yeah, now can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so the standard library right there.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on? People
just
my screen.
Yeah, cool. There you go. Yeah.
This is an angering. Do not touch it.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were going big screen. Anyways,
I'm going big screen on you for just that moment. Screen right now.
Listen, I can't hear you when you drop out like that. So here's what you have to do, like that.
Oh, okay, I get it.
All right,
sick.
Good. Okay, so go ahead, go for it.
So, okay, for the standard library is right there. You can see standard library on top right.
Okay.
And this is interesting because these are like the ones that are like the standard packages. So if I were to actually, if you look on my screen again now.
Okay. You keep pulling yourself out. You can't click the ones at the bottom. You got to click the ones at the top.
True. All right. So you can see from mine is that it literally is hosted on GitHub.
Okay.
So that public URL is the package I'm getting.
So I have a question for you. As far as the structure GitHub goes, it's still centralized on GitHub, right?
Well,
sure. It doesn't have to be GitHub.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be GitHub. It can be run off of like your private server or another hosting website or something, which is super. I think this is like
it could be off IPFS.
Could be off IPFS. Yeah.
I heard a side note. I was talking to some people. Have you heard about BTFS?
BTFS. No, throw it up real quick.
BitTorrent file system.
Oh.
Over so many million users, I forget, but it's going to be like 40 times better than IPFS. Is a word on the street.
40 times what?
Better than IPFS, and it's going to have so much like peer-to-peer
times.
like it's going to dwarf IPFS. Anyways, go ahead, continue. Is the word
So,
on the street.
okay, so expressive, we actually can find that if you go back to you, put the focus back on you, Adam.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to do it now.
Yeah, you do it. Whoa.
There it is.
Almost.
I forget how to use this. This is confusing. Why don't you just navigate?
Yeah, okay, because I don't have a browser up. You do.
Just pull one up. You drive. You drive.
You drive.
No, you got to drive that.
Yeah, drive the car, Dad.
Yeah. This is why we got to change off this platform, but
We good.
there you go.
Cool. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got it. Okay, so what are we doing now? Where you want me to go?
So what we're going to get into today is from the third-party modules.
Nice.
Now, third-party modules, just do a Control F, search for expressive.
Expressive. Nice. I don't know what's going on. Oh, nice. Pogo? No?
No. Is that it?
It says Pogo. Pogi is an easy way to use a safe and expressive framework for writing web service applications. It is inspired by Hoppy.
What about Express by itself?
Here, how about I not do it in Express?
Yeah, just say Express.
Verbal expressions. Express it.
What's up?
It's Pogo. That's the only option. It says
Interesting.
framework.
Okay.
Fine.
I found this off of a cool GitHub repository from nmathar. So just bring it back to me, and I'll take over.
Sounds good. Let's do this. I figured it out finally. I got everything working here. Hold on. Let's do it like this.
Yeah, throw up my screen. Hey, I'm on a call.
You're not muted.
Oh.
Nice. Okay, go for it.
Oh yeah, throw up my screen. Okay. Cool. So, what expressive is basically, I wanted to just figure out like, okay, we can just talk about Dino, but I just want to like actually make something in Dino so we can see the workflow.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Yeah. So what expressive is it's an API, basically like Express, but it's like it's ported over.
Okay.
So what's interesting too is that we can do TypeScript immediately. So since we're doing like a blockchainy thing, I was thinking about making like a quick coin API. So it's like, let's see, interface, like a coin.
Do what you want.
So, okay, so every coin's going to have an ID. Let's see, it's going to have a name and a price.
Don't forget to comment if anybody's watching in here. Pop it up because it's going to pop up in the StreamYard and we can address it. Just as a side note.
Yeah. Anybody just feel free to vibe out and holler at me because we have a lot of questions. I could be more articulate, as it were. But okay, so that's I guess like the first point is URL imports, which is super big, and now we have native TypeScript, which is super big. So now it doesn't feel very hacky to actually use TypeScript within just your normal Node projects.
So
If anyone doesn't know, setting up TypeScript in Node is not like an easy, painless process.
Yeah, not impossible, but it's definitely feels like an add-on rather than a feature.
And can you explain very quickly what like a superset is and what TypeScript is in like a very simple way?
What I'm going to do here is that I'm going to TypeScript is so we can force functions to receive and return actually what you want it to be. You can't have like basically any type. JavaScript is notorious for having functions that are, can return anything and do anything. So it's more difficult for you to
Undefined is a
reliable like an output for all your functions.
Undefined is a valid like a response, like you
Yes,
can
it
store like in a
The worst is when you get a function that expects a string, but it gets a number.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so it does kind of force you to be more like, having more like typing, TypeScript to your actual program, which is good. Like for instance, so if I'm going to have a bunch of coins, like as an array, then I'll say coins, but it's of type coin, and make sure that it knows that it's an array. And let's just make a couple of coins real quick. So I'll say ID, and we'll make this number 1. Name, we'll call this Bitcoin.
Nice.
What's the price of Bitcoin right now?
Let me get it. $9,113.
9,000 what?
9,100.
1 Bitcoin is worth 9,113 federal shit coins. Let's see what I did there. How can it not be a shit coin? They're doing airdrops.
Damn.
Chill. I mean, I'm just saying.
So we got Bitcoin. What's the next coin?
What's the price of Ethereum?
Why do you do Mimble Wimble?
What's the price of Ethereum? And then we'll do Mimble Wimble.
Grin. I'm sorry. Grin.
Price. Yeah, Grin.
Of Ether.
$206.20.
$206.20, and Grin is, I'll get Grin price.
Okay, so I guess we'll just put the something we don't have on the coin. We'll just say it's
wow, popular guy over here.
See. TH.
Dude, what happened to Grin? It's like murdered. All right. So we got 2 coins. What are we doing third? Zap?
Sure.
All right. Let's see what Zap is. Zap. We're at 2/10 of a penny. You're cooking over here. 3/10 of a penny. Round up. You just give us the benefit of the doubt there. It's 2,877 and 82. Point like 0.000 point.
How many zeros?
0.0. Point 0. There's another 0, and then 287782.
We'll just do 3.
3, yeah, round up. Probably better. Dude.
Okay, so
A little bit of a juxtaposition in prices here. But
yeah, whatever. I just want to. I'm not going to do a database call. This is just going to be our quick coin database. Just because we want to just get an API going real quick. I don't want to like do the whole thing. So let's see. So I'm gonna just like, this is the server.ts, so I'm gonna start an event loop here. So we'll say, well, the whole thing will be one big asynchronous call to nothing. There you go. I wonder why this is giving me a problem.
one, I would guess VS Code isn't configured for Dino yet.
Ooh, let's see if it is.
Let's see if there's even a Dino plugin.
No, there is. Yeah. I actually did a little bit of that beforehand. So if I went to Dino, I installed the most popular one. The one here, I got like 21K stars at 4.5. Seems like it's pretty sweet. I do probably have to say Dino enabled though. Only if is opened up in a workspace folder. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll have it open from.
You could literally do a whole video on how to use code properly, and it wouldn't be a wasted experience.
I know.
Like seriously, it's such a wonderful tool.
On how to use what?
VS Code properly, like in all the features that VS Code does for you, you could do a whole segment on.
Yeah, we're gonna get into how to start debugging with it too, because that was an important thing that I learned for Dino. Cool. So now I can say enable Dino. Okay, Dino is enabled in this workspace. Very good. Cool. Looks like since I loaded it in, what is going on here?
Did you try to watch the launch today, by the way? Side note, Big Nothing Burger. So disappointing.
Wait, what happened?
They called it off due to weather.
Called what off?
The SpaceX manned flight launch. They called it off due to weather. Very disappointed. I was like waiting for it all day.
Yeah, it was on the news all morning.
Yeah. All right, what are you going for here, Eric? Talk to me a little bit. So you're doing an asynchronous call, and this is what?
Yeah, I want to basically start the expression server. I want to find out what this is doing in a second, but we'll see. So let's see. I have something going on port 3000 right now, so I'm going to give it a port of 3001 to be tricky. And basically, we're just going to instantiate the thing that we actually imported, expressive. So we'll say it's equal to new expressive, and it has we'll say it's the whole app for it to start the event cycle. Instantiate a new server. say const server. And this will basically be its return statement, basically. So it's async, and this is the await callback for whole expressive dot listen, and we're going to pass it the port. And we'll tell the user that it's running. Expressive running on port 3001. See if this actually works.
Okay. Dude, the install for this is just straight curl and then execute bash and then go into it, right? It's like, because you want to restart the bash.
I'm just trying to figure out why this is throwing an error right here. It's just an array of coins. Let coins equal an array of coins, and then I have 3 arrays. What's going on here?
Was it actually giving you an error, or is it VS Code being VS Code?
It says it's highly likely you're missing a semicolon somewhere.
What about the end?
I think that's the issue. Live debugging. Let's see if one thing is incorrect. That's interesting. Why is it doing that?
Well, do you need a comma after price?
I got to troubleshoot unzip unfound, not found on the curl. That's where I'm at.
Try something like this.
Did you try and get it to compile?
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see.
So if you guys do a curl, just as a quick update, can you switch over your screen to mine real quick? I want to do it. Here, I'll do it. You mind?
Are you on Windows? I got it to load on Chocolatey.
Yeah. So ready? Sudo apt-get install zip unzip
Wait, what are you doing?
flag y, because it's required for the curl packages on the.
Oh, you don't have curl installed?
No. I have curl installed, but I think that it uses a package called unzip. Let me see.
Interesting.
Yeah, so to install Dino real quick, for those people that are trying to follow along, you're going to use, let me just pull it up real quick. So you're going to do this.
You're going to like zoom in 1, 2 times just because it's kind of small.
Hold on 1 second. Let me control shift. Oh, okay. So this is the first command you're going to do. Sudo apt-get install. First, always do sudo apt-get update. Okay. Yeah, just do that. And then do sudo apt-get install zip unzip flag y. Okay. And then the final thing you're going to do here is you're going to go to the Dino homepage, dino.land. Okay. And on the homepage, what Eric was saying is there's a curl file right here for everybody that's using Ubuntu who's followed along with me on previous videos and got it running. And that's the Ubuntu subsystem. I'm not going to go through it every time, but you can look at one of the previous videos.
Got it though, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, I've done it like 2 times. So curl this right here, this command is on the demo homepage, and this should work now. Ready? So if I hit this, it should go through and it's loading. Let's see what happens. Dino was installed successfully to my thing. Run blank. So if I want to get started, just go here, right? And that's like what Eric was doing earlier. Just
Well,
want
now,
to
can you say Dino just by itself, or which Dino?
oh,
You
wait,
say
I got an
Dino?
X dash. That's right. So if you don't have it, so Dino help,
See if it,
you know?
okay, so it's not no, but that's Dino's not installed. So that means paste what you just had again. See, that's where it's installed. See that?
Yeah. Do I have to add that to my path now?
Yeah, you gotta see what I did is that I copied that into my user/bin.
Okay, so run. So copy this in and name it Dino. Is that what you're saying? So sudo nano dot bash. Wait, so it's like this. Set dot bash. And then it's RC. Right? Boom, boom, boom. Let's see what we got. Just go in here. What is it? Export. Oh, wait, I could have just typed in export, couldn't I have? Or alias. Right? Alias Dino equals
You
this.
spelled alias wrong though.
Oh, oops. Yeah, thank you. Dino equals. Boom. Is that right? No. How do I do it with the quotations or without? I can't remember. Shell. Like that.
Oh no, you don't have to set an alias. Copy Dino's one executable. Just do cp Dino to user bin. Just get out of there. Get out of there completely.
No. Okay. What do you want me to do?
Okay, so where's Dino live?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, copy that Dino. That Dino is that only file inside that thing.
Okay.
You copy that to home user/bin.
Okay. Hold on.
Not
So
home. Root user bin.
root. So like that.
Yeah. Root user bin.
Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Slash root user.
No, you don't have to say root. Just like / usr bin. That's it.
And just hit enter.
Yeah. You might have to be sudo.
Yeah, I do. Sudo.
Sudoku.
Okay, so now if I hit X bash and then I go Dino. Whoa. Look at that.
Yay. No, I'm glad that you went through that because I already did it and it would kind of suck to go back. So it's glad that you did it because I did it all cooking show style.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to show everybody, like, I ran into a problem. So the problem that I got, everybody, and you're going to see this, is I got this weird thing that said, cannot find unzip, right? So it said sh:39, that's the error, unzip not found. So the package that's installing Dino on curl requires the unzip package. So if you do sudo, like I typed in above, that's sudo apt-get install zip unzip, it'll unwrap Dino for you. You'll be good to go. Anyways, just tangential stuff, but go ahead, go back to yours. Love to see what you got going on.
Just keep it with yours for 1 second. I'm trying to work through this error real quick.
Okay. Anyways, guys, so you go here, and let me actually get a docs.google here, and I'll just type in what I did. So do we have a live stream doc for everybody right now?
I started making one, but I don't have the
Okay. No worries. Sudo apt get install, and then zip unzip like Y, but actually before you do that, don't use capital, just lowercase. You sudo apt, it keeps capitalizing, that's not me. Apt get update flag Y, okay, then install that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to do this command right here on the main page. Depending on what you're using, just think about that. I use Linux. Eric's using something different. But that's the command that you're going to put in. It's going to come up, and then you're going to do sudo cp, and then whatever it gives you. So in this case, it gave me this. And you have to be familiar somewhat with paths and bin files and everything. So what Eric was saying is you're going to do this. Okay. And then /user /bin. And that is how you're going to get Dino running. And then do x hash, which will reset your terminal with all its new variables and everything. And then you're going to do, that's what I did.
All right, maybe can you give me your eyes, John, on like why do you think this is failing? Like it wasn't failing.
What?
So yeah, if you want to take a look at it here.
So big thing about this, guys, you got to remember, I'm switching over your screen just so people can learn, is there's always a million errors with new technologies.
So I'm missing a semicolon. I don't understand. I definitely don't have anything missing.
Don't you need commas after like the 9100?
No.
You don't have to.
I don't know if it's necessary or not.
Hold on, let me troubleshoot real quick. This is a syntax error.
It's saying that it can't be called, but it's not a function. It's just I'm creating a
so you have an object coin. It's an array.
I have it here.
Okay.
Which has an ID and name and a price, which is good. It's telling me that are you missing a semicolon?
No.
Do you need a semicolon after everything?
How about trying to declare coin and then try to?
This is it. This is it. It's very simple array. It's just basically this is what's failing right now. So either
delete a section or something. I don't know. Mess with it. Oh, you have coin name twice.
Semicolon after the interface.
Does it matter that
there's a semicolon after number in the interface in coin?
Yeah.
Is that something you need?
Price, number, semicolon. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Or don't you need semicolons after every single one in an interface? Because the interfaces are different than in a object.
Not necessarily. This is the proper. I don't think so. That's not it. No, I literally just wrote that and it was good. Let's just see if this will make it work first. So what I did here was I added two things here.
I'm gonna check the chat. Maybe somebody says you just use brew or cargo. Hell no, we ain't using brew. What you talking about, boy?
I'm not running macOS. So
no, Lance, and then hey, Lance, if you can see what's going on with that error right there, just let us know. But no, cargo. I've never used cargo.
Cargo's for Rust.
Yes, it's beautiful though.
Okay, cool. All right, so that I think I'm just not using it yet, so that's why it's giving me an issue. But just to give you an update of what I did here, I instantiated the Expressive app here, and basically we have two things here. Do you want to bring up the simple log on the Expressive, Adam?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's two methods here that we're going to be talking about: body parser and simple log. So that.
You want me to pull up on my screen? What?
If you want to, yeah. It's called right here. I have called expressive.simplelog.
Okay. So Dino package, or what do you want me to go? The API
Expressive package.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. Standard library expressive or no?
You can probably just search Google for it.
Okay. Expressive package.
Well, I think it's technically called like Deno Express.
Yeah, Deno Express dash
Deno dash Express. All right, hold on. We got to change the StreamYard.
Yeah,
number.
you can see up here.
Okay.
But the idea is that we want to have a basis for this app to send information back from a whiskey, not a whiskey, just whiskey. So you can actually have. We're gonna pull up.
Okay.
Over here.
And Matar Deno Express, right? Mathar.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm right here. So what do you want me to pull up here? Looking at my screen.
Simple log. You don't have to go through the whole library. Just do say maybe Deno Express simple log, and it'll pull up the docs. Simple log.
Right here.
Hmm.
Tell me which one. You got to pick it.
I can't really see your screen. It's so small.
Here you go. How about this? We have the technology.
Ah, yes. Cool. That's console log. Simple log is one word. Try that.
All right.
Let's go to
Learn how to build a REST API Express with
do
simple
the
log.
second one.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Second one.
Uh-oh. Here we go. That's where I was before. Here we go. Okay, so what do you want me to see? Oh, wrong way.
Yeah, so it's basically the initial way for us to just start the server going. So if you want to switch back to me.
All right.
Cool. So I'm just going to do a quick. This one's not very bright.
I'm going to check comments. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, people talking about anything?
Remove the semicolon, LOL. Install ESLint and Prettier. I think you has that, Lance.
Yeah, I think it's already on there. Let's see. Ding, ding, ding. So right now we can just do curl localhost 3001. You can see we get a simple get. So we're good. We can start. So I think the first thing we should do is be able to write a function that gets, a simple endpoint. Let's just make a simple endpoint called, let's see, get the whole thing, the application.u.get, and we'll make the URL coins. And we'll write a function called getCoins. Cool. Make a.
Now, can you query so you have it running right now, right? You can query straight off of Postman, right? Just like any other normal.
Yeah, I'm doing it right here from curl. So you can see I'm getting a 200 get.
Yeah.
Right every time that I do it. And I'll just do a curl localhost.
Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see the two terminals. Yeah, I didn't see your two terminals. I got you. You're doing a split window.
Okay.
So we know we got it running. So now we're going to make a function to, I'm going to bring back this array. Let's see. We'll say const get coins, and we'll make an asynchronous function.
While you're doing that, can I talk a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we have a lot of people that, let me switch over here. We have a lot of people that might not necessarily be like super fluent like us, and this might be a little bit of black magic. So let me kind of explain what's going on here. All right, so one of these windows, the terminal on the bottom left, if you can see the one that says 200 git, is running the Deno server. Okay, now the Deno server, and the code that he's writing above the server TS is framing the different types of request parameters, right? So when he's querying it, he's putting in a curl to that server. So there's two. Imagine the screen on the right, if you could hover over that, Eric. The terminal on the right. This is the one that he's calling curl from. So when he's curling it, you can see it respond on the left-hand side. This is called a request response server cycle right now. So you go from one, you're putting a request in, it's responding, right? So for people that are a little,
I think it's a get request. So you can see on the left-hand side, we're getting get. And since I didn't put anything after localhost, then I get the root here.
This is like the equivalent of you dialing your friend, them picking up the phone and not doing anything.
Yeah.
And then hanging out. Right?
So actually, we're going to make an endpoint that makes sense. So you can see here is that we're going to be say /coin. So like we're actually making an API right now. So we have get coin. Let's say get coins. Actually, it's something that was really interesting too. What we should do after this is show how to debug. Now you can see this is TypeScript because I have to not only tell it what it's accepting, but what format it's in. So I'm making a function here that is not only asynchronous, so I have an await function to call back, bring back a promise, but right here, the get function is going to give me two things. It's going to give me a request and a response here. It's going to pass both of those things in here, and we have to be ready for any type of data type. So actually, when you say get coins, we're going to say console. Let's just take a look at what the request looks like. Save it.
Get coins, correct?
Yeah.
No, so he's saying get coins function.
Yeah, so when I do this actual curls, when I do a get, I'll say coins. And now let's look at the full output of this because this is what's really interesting.
No, he's saying the guy in the chat said, is it get coins with parentheses after it? Go back to your other code page. Your server TS file. He said, is that get coins with a function?
It is a function.
Yeah, but I'm saying, is it get coins with two parentheses? Const get coins, is it got parentheses on it?
You can call a function here, or you could create a function there. So like yes and no, like you could do that, but then I would specify what it was. But what I'm going to do here is show what it passes, just so we can see underneath the hood. So when actually you get that get command, this is the request that you're getting back, and you get all this data with it. So what we're finding is that we're getting, we can actually get the parameters, the query, the search, and you can see this is the path that was called, and it's a matched pattern. So that's really important because what we're going to do is set up this request. So if I'm basically accepting from this get request that big request object here, and I'm making it lowercase by instantiating it in request here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Because then we can actually start using it.
Said cool. Seems like a Dino feature.
No, this is just TypeScript.
Straight up. Gotcha.
Can you talk again? I think you're a bit low.
Who, me? I moved the microphone away from my face. My bad.
Cool. So what we want to do is actually have this return something. So I think we're going to, when you have an asynchronous call in JavaScript, you want to have the response, its return value, which is await. And we can say that return dot, everything has like a, let's see. We'll just say the error is false. And we're going to have some data inside this, and we'll encapsulate it. I'll use that word coins that we have up there. And let's see if this will behave for us. Hey, it's behaving for us. Sweet.
That's interesting. Like,
I don't know.
Definitely need to fix the error.
I don't know how that worked. I knew that I didn't have anything wrong with the syntax. I was just going crazy.
Why?
So-
why do you think? What if you had to guess? What do you think it was?
I think
Well,
because
it's because it was on an unused variable.
it's an unused.
Oh my God! Come on.
In normal JavaScript, they don't care about.
Yeah, but here it's like it's treating it as an executable and
got-
saying it as like it is not a function that could be called. So
Okay.
I'm like, oh, okay. So let's see. See if that works. Now, here's something is actually something that we should talk about right now. Now, what we talked about, one of the things about Dino which differentiates it from Node is that it's its own sandbox, and you have to at runtime make sure that you give it the correct flags because, for instance, right here, I broke it on purpose because I did not allow it specific permission to access the network. So if you just say Dino run server.typescript, right now it's throwing me an error right now saying that it's trying to create a network connection, port 3001, and I did not give it access. So like right now, because I didn't give it access to the file system, it doesn't have those permissions. So that's what they mean by having a sandbox environment, like a truly sandbox environment.
That sounds like a. I don't know how to explain this. Like, I'm really excited at the prospect and the control that it gives you, but it also seems like a nightmare where I'm going to start typing in like the commands that I'm used to, like in Node, like npm start or something like that.
Yeah, it's
And
just
like,
not there.
Yeah.
Because, all right. So here's the other one that was really big too, is that here we have this imported from a URL, correct?
Yeah.
So, but now it's cached. So when I run this again, it's super fast and does it and starts running. So it compiled and stayed cached. But if I say -- reload, then it will go actually download all of the things and recompile all your dependencies again. But that's like in terms of like the features that he was, I forget. Let's see, what was his name? I wrote it down here. Yeah, Ryan Dahl. He said that was one of the main issues that he was trying to push forward.
So let me get it to you like this. There's no global install like there used to be. So it's not like npm-g or npm-local. It's all you have to import them into your different files respectively. It's going to cache these files and reload them as needed, so you don't have like a trailing line of bullshit of things that you might have pulled out of your project or added in. You're going to pull them out or add them in basically in the code lines.
So you can see right here that we immediately install this module.
Yeah.
And
Dino takes care of it, huh?
Yeah, so it literally is it's cool. So I thought that was the most immediate thing that I saw different. So you can see right here is, I'll just run it again without reloading it and allow the network. And it's running again. So so what this will do is actually get from this endpoint from this function, and it should be able just to, we're not doing a database call, so it's just looking at this array and returning it within encapsulated here. So if I say curl coins again, I got a whole different thing where I got a payload instead, which is super good. So that means I hit my endpoint and I got back a JSON object that was consumable.
Nice.
We can do that again, just real quick.
Can you break it real quick for me? I want to see what happens.
Well, that's what we can't break it yet because we have to install that, and that's actually the next thing that I was going to talk about.
Okay,
it's good that you said that because
I want to check out what happens when you mess with the import. What kind of error it throws? Like when you're
sure. Do you want to? Should we go over that right now? I think that's a good thing. With the debug environment.
No. Just continue on. I just in a minute when we're doing break it, I want to see what that looks like.
No, we should break it now. That's the whole. I think pretty good use of time.
Yeah, but I want to do some responses, gets, and like have. Oh, you're doing it right now. Okay, just do what you're gonna do. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take you off base.
Oh, no, that's fine. No, I think this is really what it's all about. Is that I'm literally pinging this server at this endpoint, and I'm getting back the correct response because really I'm getting two objects back. I'm getting back Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's the two we have in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's super important. We want to be able to break it, and I think that's the next portion of where I'm going to go to is show how to configure.
By the way, guys, I think moving forward, for anybody that's watching, what we're going to actually do, if you're watching this and you've made it this far, is we're going to do these live streams where we kind of talk to people and engage with them. But then we'll also do maybe a really quick tutorial with like zoomed in on code as like, in the upcoming weeks, months, we're going to probably start, creating a little library about what's going on at some point.
Yeah, we can make this code available too. So just jumping right back in, we have launch.json here. This is how basically the debugging works in VS Code, and it's available. This is just the boilerplate one that they give you for Firefox, but I have this one, cooking show style. But yeah, so you can see that the runtime executable is just the workspace folder, which is super handy. And from here, I can say inspect breakpoint, and then it'll run a server. So if we want to actually see that in action, let me quit this one. And if I actually run this, let me save it. So you see, just by hitting play, it's already in there. There's no environment, nothing, which is super cool. Because if I say I want to break it here when we get coins, right? Bam.
Nice. So I have a question for you, Eric. If I want to store like the commands like nat, what was that one, the flag that you put in, nat what? Allow?
What? Yeah.
On the terminal. So if you're running net allow, can you do, is there like a JSON or something where you can set in all your commands? Say you have like some customizable stuff you don't want to put in every time, just like in npm. You want to run something like npm start and it goes through a startup script.
Okay, well that's what I'm saying. There is none of that anymore.
Okay.
It's really taking care of a lot of, you don't have to that's what I'm saying. It does it via URL imports.
Got it. So you can't do like npm start dev and like rename it like,
okay.
like,
well, in that case, then you wouldn't do that. Yeah. In that case, you would say you instead of talking to npm and having that do a script, you can just do a bash script instead.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Because that's all what a lot of it's just like sugar coating, a lot of the functionality that you get out of just saying node commands. And it has its purpose, but I think that really what this is like developer experience stuff.
Okay.
Like this is extremely cool. Like this is running my debug environment right now. So you can see, that request object that I printed out earlier.
Not to mention dependency issues seem like way easier here. Like you're not going to run into half the amount of problems that you're going to run because you're importing them in a different manner. Like you're not installing them locally. You might be behind a version. You're pulling them.
It'll install them locally. It caches them locally.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can like refresh straight from the repo, and it's gonna be like whatever.
Oh yeah, it's really straight from the repo. So you can have things that are different portions of your program that are updating outside of that. So you can see right here, you can see we have a body here. And this is the actual request. That's what I was saying, that when you actually .get, this is actually what's getting passed over to get coins. And that's why this debugger is really nice and super fast, because you can see when we actually hit that endpoint .coins right here, it broke here, and we can actually do that over and over again. So, it's empty now, but it finished off what it was asking. So if I actually hit it here, we can break it again. So it's a really good in-depth way of quickly using that. You gotta set up your developer environment,
So it's been a little over an hour. How long are we going on this?
I was gonna do one more example and then cut it off.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
One more.
Let's see.
So there's a few things like I think we haven't mentioned is what are the downsides of Dino?
I wouldn't say that necessarily it's there's downsides, but you would have to going forward, you would have to have projects written in Dino first, because you would have to convert, and it wouldn't be an arduous process to convert over.
It faces the same problem from what I can see.
Downsides in why at the moment you wouldn't want to use Dino.
Yeah, so I think it faces the similar problems like Vue.js is hitting right now, John.
To what?
Sorry, people get
like Vue.js was having this problem in its early days, but now it's surpassed it. Right? Is basically the repo is probably tiny right now, I would assume, and there's probably not as many packages or support for in broad.
Yeah, right? Totally. That's why I was when I was figuring out which to start with, I think that creating an API is pretty straightforward, and that there's got to be other libraries to be written directly for it. So it's still in its early days, but actually something that me and John were talking about, we're since it's based on it runs on top of V8, we can do WebAssembly and Rust calls.
Nice.
Yeah, that's one of the most powerful features we haven't even talked about.
We haven't even gotten to that yet. So basically, I just wanted to write a quick API, and I think that maybe next week we can delve deeper into something John was talking about, starting workers as super easy in Dino, and see
Dino,
low-level calls to
Dino really takes a lot of the next generation Node features and just makes them default. Node has a lot of things such as worker threads and WebAssembly, which you can do, but are not simple, or add-ons that are in essentially better condition. Dino just has them as the default.
Okay, now let's talk about this too. I mean, Eric, continue on. If you had one more example, let's just keep trying to chug along here. But let's talk about this. What turns you guys on to Rust? I mean, you've talked to me a little bit about it, but most people might not be that excited. I know there's some exciting things that occur because of Rust. You mentioned things like multi-threading in the past. What does that mean? Why would I care about WebAssembly and multi-threading? Like all these different things. Why is that important?
It depends on what community you're talking to.
I'm talking about everybody who's not using Rust, which is a huge.
The thing is that you're using Rust underneath the hood, and that's the point.
Yeah, you don't even know you're using Rust.
Yeah, so we're using Rust
too.
In Firefox, for instance.
Okay.
So in terms of the large branching is that we have a multi-threaded, really low-level language that can access I think the best way to explain it is that C++ doesn't really have a package manager. Where we were talking about earlier in the program, Cargo. Yeah. Cargo is basically all these actual modules that will fit like NPM and other package managers to directly have libraries that are super fast and have the same low level speed as C++, but in a package form. Cool. Just to quickly branch off is I think that Rust for in terms of the blockchain community that we're talking about WebAssembly and the future of smart contracts. So that's what I meant by who are you talking to? Because you can have it compiled down to any type of bytecode, really. You want to chime in on that, John?
Me?
Yeah.
You can have what? Compiled any type of. Have what compiled to what?
Rust compiled to the EVM bytecode, for instance.
Maybe. It's more like Rust compiles to WebAssembly very effectively, and WebAssembly can essentially run anything, since it creates its own virtual machine that runs at near native speeds in a browser.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
you can run programs that will run almost as fast in your browser as if you just ran them on your computer. And there's some pretty wild demos of this where people run, very robust game engines just in a browser, or full applications.
Yeah.
And the promise of this is like, all you need is Chrome. You can get rid of the idea of having to open a whole bunch of programs, and we're kind of already there. We already have Google Docs. We
Chrome
already
OS making a comeback.
such as Figma,
Mhm.
which make using to replace things like Illustrator. Proliferation of WASM is just going to further ease that transition.
True.
Cool. All right, let's finish up. Let's do the last thing you wanted to do, and let's.
Yeah, I
try to
think
wrap it
I'm at the leg now. So let's see. I just wanted to make another endpoint so you can get a specific ID. So I created, like, instead of get coins, we have get coin. Just get one of them, and we'll say coin, and we'll make it of type coin. But we'll make it undefined at the moment. And we'll say from that array of coins, we'll do a find. And we'll say that anonymous coin, if it matches that ID, it will be a part of request.parameters.id. So that's just a quick find function, honestly. So it's just going to, like, if you input the number, I guess at this point, the string 2, it'll just return that. So we'll say if there's an actual response, we'll do a return response.json. We'll say that's not an error. And we'll return just the coin that was found. But if we don't find a coin, then we'll say, let's see, response dot status, make it a 404. And we'll return a promise saying response JSON. We'll say that there is an error. And we'll give a message. It looks kind of right, right? Then we'll see. See if we can pause.
there.
And it compiled. Sweet.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, that's really good when you do something live stream. You're like, oh my god, it's not gonna work. Let's see. Well, let's see if we can actually just get Bitcoin. We'll say curl post 2001, and we'll say 1, and we'll do coins. Nice. No error. We got Bitcoin because that's the first one. You can see I made it kind of restful, putting the ID before the actual resource. And we'll see. We're supposed to get Ethereum if we place 2 here. See. Nice.
Try to do 3. Let's see what I'm.
Yeah. Since 3 is not there.
I'm gonna say what? True. Error
Error true.
Yeah.
No coin found.
Nice.
Dude, we did it.
Good shit.
We literally made an API live on stream, but
In Dino.
Like, okay, so what are the implications of this? Are you going to be building projects moving forward in some kind of capacity with Dino? Like, say your next project you sink your teeth into, not the ones you're currently involved in because you're too deep. Would you go into your next one and try it?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the point. I think I think that out of all of us, John has done a lot of Rust stuff. So like if he had a cool library that, did something extremely fast, maybe like a bridge or to a blockchain or its own blockchain or any type of like systemic service that he's running, I'll be able to have that connection immediately.
That'd be a fun live stream. Inner blockchain bridge.
Yeah, it'd be sick. So let's just recap what we learned real quick. We can see right now natively doing TypeScript. We're making interfaces. From the get-go, we can see that we're doing URL imports. Installation was extremely easy between you and me. Like that was sick. We can execute. Like if I saved this file and I gave you a link, you could probably just execute it from there, from Dino, and it would run, which is super cool. We can see, let's just go over. There has been I think what we went over for the gist of today was a third-party app called Expressive, which is an Express API creation tool written for Dino. And biggest things to take away from is that you can see this is the only file in here. I didn't do much of splitting these up into separate folders and exporting them as like modules, but we can see that the installation was super simple and is running literally without any node package manager. And if we didn't give it explicit permission to access the network or the file system, it doesn't work. That's pretty big. Pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very interested specifically in Rust. I just started, I bought a book and I read a little bit of that book, but I haven't had the time to really dive into it. Definitely not as much as John. Definitely not as much as you, but it's something I want to play with.
Library that we're talking about, Tokio. I don't know how to say it. I've never said it out loud.
Where's Tokio?
It's like Ansible.
Yeah,
it's hard to think about what things are going. You never know.
Colma
Grove.
Shapley. Never said that. And then I was like, wait, oops.
I still call it pseudo, and everybody else calls it pseudo. I'm like pseudo, and they're like pseudo, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyways, I don't know. I think it's funny because before the web and learning environments like this, where you guys could go on and talk about it, and people knew the exact names, you just had to read them off of a website.
Yeah,
never hear
how it got started was pulling Red Hat distributions from the back of library books.
Nice. Yeah, so I mean, APIs are really cool. Dino seems awesome. I'd like to.
And we made it work on stream. That was amazing.
Yeah,
I didn't think that was going to be possible. I
You
thought
thought
that
it was
error
gonna
was
blow
going to be hilarious.
you're so convinced. Done. Anyways, yeah, guys, I think kind of wrap it up. Let's set some expectations, next steps. I mean, look, we brought Eric and John. They were more than generous to hop on here. We're really excited about it. They have a lot of combined experience. What I'd like to do is incorporate them into Dev Wednesdays a lot more, and do a lot more cool stuff. So our goals here really at the Blockchain Center are to get more regular programming for developers out. And that's kind of like why we're partnering with these people that I worked with previously. And we're going to draw on collective knowledge, have guests, probably different companies. We've been in the talks with numerous, and they're all very interested to get on here and talk about their projects. So I can't mention upcoming because some of them haven't really committed, but even though they have, but we have tons coming your way. And if you're familiar with like our Crypto Mondays, Trading Tuesdays, all those types of things where we have these panels and things, we've been kind of pushing a objective on the development end to the same effect, and we're really excited about it. So I'm really excited about like this, I guess this new programming. It's going to hit a whole different metric. Hit a whole different demographic of people that, may or may not be super technical. Maybe some people are like diehards and they just go in, or maybe you just kind of like want to monkey around with us, in which case we're going to do these live streams so you can communicate with us, kind of ask questions. I know John has awesome InfoSec stuff that we've done in the past. It's probably a lot more to unwrap.
There's so many things that we want to do that we just got to find the time.
Yeah.
Honestly, what we were talking about before, we were talking about a smart contract debugging, but trying to port that over to Dino. That'd be sick.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I'd like to make a faulty smart contract, really complicated faulty smart contract with some money in it, and the first person to break it wins. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we're trying to get an NFT on OpenSea as fast as possible, like against the clock.
Yeah, 12 minutes.
Yeah, because what I was thinking is that
I gotta call OpenSea.
Use GitHub as our CDN, because really the only metadata that is super important for OpenSea to host your token is picture. So we can mint a couple tokens to be bought and sold on the marketplace.
Adam, Eric, and John
metadata on GitHub.
I'll get pictures like this.
We take a picture.
You've got a mail.
I think we've been taking we're on video.
Yeah, so
you are the Blockchain Center. You're like tattooed right to your forehead.
Who, me? What are you talking about?
Hopefully, maybe by next time we'll have like the I have some assets being on the way for the Blockchain Center, just like blow up and they could be huge 3D. Maybe next time we'll do a stream on that too.
Oh, I did a React 3JS type deal, incorporated it into like a progressive web app. That was really cool. I'd love to go into that and how I followed that Pierre's Francesco guy.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, he had like some really cool walkthroughs on what to do there. It'd be cool to do some VR stuff. I know we actually have a company that we're working with in Miami out of the center, XR. I keep calling it VR, but they get really triggered. So XR community.
XR. No, I'm learning as well.
Yeah, XR community. We
not just virtual.
We have a lot of companies there.
Versus VR.
Yeah, so they get really mad if you call it VR. It's XR is the reality. Don't make that mistake. I keep doing it. So
what does it stand for?
Extended reality.
Okay.
Because like you have augmented reality. I mean, that's like basically the combination of the two.
And if you want to be a real
extended, but you can also say X, so it could be like augmented or virtual.
Yeah. So also what you could do if you really want to get crazy. Like I've been told that it's actually spatial computing. Spatial computing is like the like super nerd level. If you really want to get technical,
okay. Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know. I don't know enough.
Spatial computing.
Yeah,
spatial.
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 Yeah,
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
a lot of bit more sense.
I mean, I would love to we're gonna definitely try and reach out to some of these XR or spatial computing companies, and maybe get some of the gear and hack with. I'd love to do like a hardware hack, and we're gonna get
There's a couple of platforms I want to have more time on too. So I guess whatever the one, like, what was it, the one, Janus? That was super cool.
Oh yeah, Vista.
Mhm.
Vista.
But that's for another stream.
Anyways, okay, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much. I appreciate you both coming on. Thanks for telling us about that. We're gonna be doing it going forward, and for everybody watching, thank you for joining up. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for allowing us to vibe out.
Yeah.
Yeah, beam electromagnetic waves at your eyeballs for.
All right.
Live streamed.
All right, guys. Let's crush it. I'll see you guys.
Talk to you.
Peace out.